Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17.
Oh, you remembered me this time. And I'm 151.
There we go. And we are reviewing Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
How Gareth Edwards didn't fuck up.
Okay. I love how you were the biggest proponent of Godzilla, and it was our top movie of 2014. Thank you very much.
It was. Listen, I'm not saying I didn't have faith in him in doing this movie. I'm just saying, what is the strongest thing about Star Wars? The characters. What was the biggest fault for the main lead in Godzilla?
Bryan Cranston.
Not being in it.
Long enough. And
Serizawa, Cranston, and a few other characters were fantastic. The main lead sucked.
Main lead in this movie isn't amazing.
Great either.
Yeah, and it's good. It's better than Brody. It's better than Brody.
Okay,
but,
so
this
without
movie,
spoilers,
this movie is essentially what happens before New Hope. Which again, I'm really surprised that the marketing tagline behind this is "Before There Was Hope."
Which, honestly, I like.
Yeah,
that's a good. And it ties to them, and it definitely ties to this movie, because this movie is all about getting hope, especially in the face of growing danger. The Empire is fearsome.
Yep.
The Empire is deadly.
It is expansive,
almost unbeatable, and especially with the development of their new super weapon, the Death Star.
Yeah.
Which.
Thank you, Mads Mikkelsen, for helping finish, by the way.
Which also, by the way, is Jesus Christ. The first movie you get a sense of threatening. If you never saw Star Wars and you saw this and then A New Hope,
it fits.
You would think the Death Star was an unbeatable monstrosity.
Yep.
Like, it is golden. Oh, hi. Oh, do you want this? Come on.
Got Chewbacca.
Come on. This is Chewbacca. Thanks to his friend and Tally's newest chew toy. Ready? Go get it.
She really enjoys chewing on Chewbacca. Anyway, the big thing about this movie, again, for non-spoilers, we'll go quickly. Characters are great. Some are fantastic. The supporting characters specifically are amazing. The battles are some of the best battles I've seen this year. The special effects are incredible, and they help pave way for some amazing cameos. But otherwise, I highly recommend this film.
Also, the first 2/3 are good. The last third is what solidifies this movie as a Star Wars film, and a great one at that.
Okay, spoilers up here.
Everyone dies.
Holy God, yes, thank you.
Everyone dies. I've never been so happy to say this.
Everyone dies.
Disney, go get your. I'm gonna $5. Go get yourself a nice dinner.
Good job, Disney. You murdering psychopath.
You killed everyone, and
congratulations. And
you
not
heartless
just
bastards.
That, you made us cheer and clap when Darth Vader murdered everyone. It was, and not the main characters, not the supporting, just random rebels in a hallway, and it's like, and it's just like you see the rebels and like, oh shit, open fire, and you just see him easily.
They never stood a chance,
and just mow them down. He pulls a guy to the roof and just slices him in half. Like, yeah, that was the thing. And he just keeps mowing him down. And
with no challenge. Like, literally, he's like, if you can imagine inside, he's like there's just like some happy music playing. He's like, God, this is another Sunday in the Empire.
Yeah, it's like there's people like, help us, help. And they're stuck in one of my favorite Star Wars scenes. And I am so happy.
And they have no hope of living. But you know what does have hope? The destruction of the Death Star.
Yes.
Which is done very well in this movie. There's
other than my favorite scene, probably one of my favorite scenes of the year, this film is great. It's
action packed.
Yeah.
It starts up by introducing all the characters, who I will say
it's a little choppy in the beginning. It jumps from place to place.
But you also don't get. It really took me a while to even get the names, which I still don't know. Like Rey and I got their names, but this one I really didn't get their names. Ursa. Ursa. Well, yeah. It was a little bit hard. I'll say this. The weakest part of this movie is the characters. Not to say there aren't great ones. It's just to say, when compared to everything else, they're the weakest part.
Yeah.
Especially the lead and the second, and the two main leads.
Yeah.
The male at least has a little bit of intriguing.
The intelligence officer.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a moral background, and not to say the girl doesn't with her father, which Mads Mikkelsen does an excellent performance.
Thank you, Mads Mikkelsen, for once again doing an excellent performance. That once again you end up. It's funny because it's like you play the good guy he's like, I did what no one else could. I bet I was the bad guy. It's like, no, you are like, that's what you're best at. You're best at being the bad guy. Yep. It's like, no one would have suspected him. Like, of course no one suspects it. You're an amazing bad guy. But I'm sorry, different character.
So in any case, the whole movie is essentially trying, Urso essentially is taken by the Alliance.
Yeah.
Basically,
finish the Death Star's main weapon. That's why the Death Star is actually the Death Star, because otherwise it's just a big space station. No one even cared. The Rebels are like, who cares? But then as soon as you add that big orbital gun on it, and
which can destroy planets, and by the way, used extremely effectively in this movie, to the point where it's almost like a reverse of A New Hope.
Yeah,
because it starts out with the Death Star firing, and ends with yeah, I mean, it ends with it firing too, but it's
great.
Yeah, but here the major note I have is this: the action sequences in this film. Again, the story moves along at a good pace, and the characters are introduced
once you get through
with K2,
we'll just say K.
K2, the android you see, which is an Imperial droid that was basically hacked, being probably my favorite character of the whole movie.
Yep,
he has the best lines. Best dialogue. He's funny.
Yep.
And even has an emotional send off. And
I forget his name, but the blind guardian. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. It's like that guy.
He's essentially it's him, and there's another guy. These two essentially were temple guardians. They were one with the Force. And they were guardians of the Jedi temples. Well, the Jedi died.
Yeah.
So the
Empire's like mining all the crystal for the Death Star.
So they're kind of like they're rebelling, but they're doing so very silently. They're just trying to save the temple. And at a certain point, they really can't anymore because the temple is gone.
Yeah.
But the other note is these group of characters find themselves latched together, and the story flows pretty well.
One thing though, Forrest Whitaker's character.
Yeah.
He plays an older gentleman who the daughter is like he's like surrogate father kind of, but he's
also extreme rebel. He's kind of like
crazy rebel.
He's almost like if you could imagine if currently Syria today, if Assad was the empire, and the Syrian there's like these the Syrian. Which one is the one that?
Anyway, you have the main rebels.
You have the main rebels.
He's the extremist.
He'd be the ISIS of like the group. He's the normal rebels
the
are
new
like
order to the empire.
He's like, listen, we're trying to establish democracy. These guys are insane.
Yeah,
that is them. Yeah. That is these guys. They're like extreme. Like the fact that literally a guy
comes. It sounds like this throughout the entire film. With a really high-pitched voice. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's like, it's save the dream. It's like, I'm sorry, I can't take you seriously.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Also, there's a moment where he could have lived.
He's acting, but his voice is so high-pitched, it's like, I can't. It's like, he has cool armor, he has a nice gas mask, which actually kind of reminds you of Darth Vader, but it's like, I'm sorry, I can't take you seriously. I can't, and don't be wrong, I enjoyed the movie, and eventually the characters group up. There's a great scene at a mining facility, and it goes from place to place. But also on the flip side, you have Krennic. So Krennic is like the actual person who sets up and gets everything in place for the Death Star. He's like the mastermind. But that is not what Episode 4 has. Episode 4 has Tarkin as the person who sets it up. No, Tarkin pulls the rug under Krennic.
Yeah, it's basically
my thing now. My thing.
He basically is like, I've spent like the guy that this one Empire essentially director is like, the Death Star was my dream for 15 years, and Tarkin's like, well, yeah, I like how you designed the car. I'm taking it now for a drive later, bitch. And like he basically tries to steal it. This guy goes to Darth Vader, basically to one up him, and Darth Vader's like, don't choke on your aspirations. Like he doesn't give a literal fuck about this guy.
Yeah, just get out of my sight.
Yeah,
but I will say this: Tarkin is a CGI character, and it took me like a little while to be like, that's CGI.
Yep, they do the same thing they did with like Tron Legacy.
Yeah, and I'm just looking because again the actor died, and I'm just looking. I'm just like, yeah, yeah, that is. It's yeah, that's Tarkin. It's CG, and I'm just like, wait, Tarkin's in this film. How's that possible? And it's funny because we were watching it with someone else, and she leans over to me and is like, something wrong with him. Like, I think it's CG. And he's like, that makes sense. Because, like, he died, right? I'm like, yeah, that actor died. And I'm like, yeah. So, again, it's pretty awesome they bring back Tarkin. They do that with, again, we have spoilers up right now, so spoilers. They do that with Princess Leia. I think Leia looked better.
Leia looked a lot better because, A, you only had one shot of her. She didn't really move. And, B, I hate to say this, women wear makeup.
Yeah.
So you don't see the blemishes. You don't see the wrinkles. There's not a lot of detail there. So it kind of blended a lot better where Tarkin had wrinkles. And
no. Actually, no. Leia's not the only other one. There's other CGI/inputted characters. Gold Leader and Red Leader.
No. They were stock footage.
No, but they were superimposed over there with some light special effects on them. So in the final battle, there was unused footage from episode 4. So they used the unused footage and inserted them into the battle to have the original fighter pilots fighting against the Empire during an amazing battle sequence, both over the skies of this planet and on the ground. And it is great.
We will not... listen, right now, we're not going into the spoilers of what happens on that planet.
But I'm just like...
But it is amazing both ground side and above and in the air.
But Blue Leader goes in, and then it's like, okay, that's cool. And then he superimposes this footage. I'm like, wait a second, what's that? And all you hear is cheering in the for people behind us, like, yes! And I'm like, what? Why? And I'm looking, I'm like, wait, that looks like old footage. Wait, but not. It looked weird. But it worked in its own weird way. It's like, that's pretty clever.
Because they also did it with, they also used, other leaders. There's, General that jumps in.
Yeah.
And, there's plenty of great fights. There's plenty of good sequences. And there's a lot of good heart. Again, with the ending, we will say this much. Everyone does die.
Yes.
But at the very end, this is a movie that's about giving hope. And it's really about setting
getting
up.
The plans for the Death
4
Star.
is a new hope.
Yeah.
This movie essentially is the fire that lights that hope. This is what got the news to the Death Star. This is what gave Luke the ability to destroy the Death Star.
Yeah.
This is how this sets everything else in motion.
Yeah.
And it pays homage to it. It works. It doesn't disrespect the franchise.
No.
It pays loving homage, and it never overstays its welcome.
Also fixed a lot of problems, or some major glaring issues with Episode 4. It's like, why does the Empire have a giant exhaust port in the Death Star?
Well, that's because one of their...
They didn't even know about the damn thing.
Yeah, exactly. They had no idea. In fact, the only way they would have known, they accidentally destroyed.
Yes.
So they literally had no way of knowing that there was a giant shoot me here blow up button on the Death Star, which I thought was great.
Very well concealed. It was a small port made by the designer to be like, there's no way to take this thing out, but if I can install something very small.
The guy was like, I can't. If I would have said no, they would have built it far faster.
Yeah. And
they would have created it without a weakness. I put it in to delay it as long as possible and create a weakness, which was genius. And again, why this works so well. It also kind of explains why the Death Star, the second one, was installed so quickly. Yeah. Because the guy was like, well, they would have finished this a long time ago if I wasn't fucking with them.
Yeah.
So to say what, like a year? It took a few years for them to install the second Death Star.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even complete. Yeah. It was just a space station being worked on that was maybe being converted. Yeah,
but they had the laser operational. Kind of. Sort of.
Yeah. So, yeah, it really works. And it's a movie I would definitely recommend. And it was good. And it's a movie that gets me excited for future Star Wars films. I'll say that.
Yeah, the final battle was fantastic. Gareth Edwards, once again, doing great battle sequences.
Gareth, you got to work on your human character. You got to... Listen, you're a nerd. Listen, heart to heart. You're a nerd. I know this. You know this. We all know this. Chris knows this on Toho Kingdom. Which, by the way, if you guys want to go see some great interviews with Gareth Edwards, go watch them with Chris Murr. I cannot pronounce your last name. Shut up. And Edwards. But here, work on your characters. Everything else, though, you did a good job, man. You did a good job.
You had great side characters.
Shut up.
Main lead characters.
Main lead is what say. Listen, your leads, you gotta work on. But sides, you know how to.
Anyway, Rogue One, go see it. We highly recommend it if you haven't done so already.
If you don't, we'll throw a cat at you.
Sally, we gonna do that to you?
I mean, that's why I've been doing this whole thing. She keeps bringing the cat toy and just keep throwing it. It's great. Look, she's even running away. She's like, "Where is it? I saw you throw it."
Even though it's like,
"Hey, Tally."
Jackass. In any case, this has been Greyshot 117.
Greyshot 151. And
Tally, I guess you out of the way.
No, and the Spectre behind us. You just need the Spectre goggles. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen our Spectral review, go see it. It's better than Star Wars Rogue One.
No. Star Wars Rogue
In my book.
Final Battle is amazing.
Listen, Final Battle is great, but can it beat a tank?
We'll see you guys next time.
See you guys next time.
The space battle, come on!
Okay, yeah, it was good.